movement, citizen journalist. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. What's this place called? Where we are?
This is Milk River 509. This is where the 509 crosses Milk River. My name is Jerry. Just came down a week ago, a little over a week ago, and wanted to do something.
Yeah, I mentioned to you about the Truth Freedom Health movement, and you said you heard about Dr.SHIVA.
I have heard.
Yeah.
I'm not a lot, but I've heard good things.
Yeah. When the first announcement about the mandates for truckers came, he said the truckers need to unite. Working people unite, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what does it mean for you to be here?
It means standing for freedom, standing for my daughter, standing for our country. We were losing national pride in our country, and this has brought it back together. We're standing for something. It means standing and saying to the politicians, corruption no more. You can't get away with this. It means telling the next politicians that come in, you try pulling some of the crap that they're pulling, we're going to do the same thing to you.
What would you consider a victory? What would you be like, obviously we're going to do this as long as it takes, right?
Yeah. To drop the mandates. All mandates regarding COVID, if they try to do anything or go back on their word, we'll be right back.
Yeah. And the freedom, right? The freedom that we have lost, right? Over time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm a Truth Freedom Health warrior scholar leader, and I'm here with a fellow Albertan, brave man, and he agreed to this interview to tell us more about what's going on at the border here. We are actually at the first line.
Yes.
And at the Coutts border.
My name is Pete Weeb. I'm one of the original. I started this movement, you could say, for the Alberta Freedom Convoys. So you betcha. I was one of them.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for agreeing to this interview.
Betcha.
So could you tell us, why did you get involved?
I'm a cross-border trucker, and I don't agree with being forced to put something in my body that is deemed dangerous and is unproven and all that good stuff. So as of this moment, I'm out of a job, so we're here fighting for our freedoms back. And, that was the final straw, you could say. I don't agree with all the mask mandates and everything that we've been forced to do over the last 2 years. So we're here to, win all that back.
Yes, yeah, and you support the freedom to choose, right?
Absolutely, 100%, yes. Yeah. And with that being said, I would add that, we're not here to say you can't get vaccinated or you have to get vaccinated. It doesn't matter. We're here for everybody. Vaxxed or unvaxxed doesn't matter. You should have the freedom to choose whether you want to do that or not.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. And can you tell us actually what's going on right now? What do we have here at the border?
There's a group of truckers here, and the farmers, of course, have joined us in our fight for freedom. So we had the border blocked, and then we opened it up, and negotiations didn't quite go the way that they were supposed to. So we have closed it back up again. It seems to be the best way to get the message across. So as of this moment, the border is closed. This particular border at Coutts, but there are other borders that are open for people that absolutely have to cross the border. There is still options for them.
And can you tell us a little bit, how can others support you?
Basically by joining other rallies, other protests. If you can't make it to this one, that's fine. Show your support wherever you can. Your local towns, cities, wherever you are. There's something going on all across the country. So by showing your support, you're automatically supporting us.
Awesome. So you're saying you stand up for yourself and you're standing for us.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We're all in this together.
At this point, what would you consider to be victory?
Obviously, when all the mandates are lifted, right?
That's right.
That's what we're fighting for. Because if we leave one single mandate in place, they can just step back on that and say that the numbers are going down or this or that. They can use some kind of an excuse to just bring this back in 2 or 3 weeks. So they have to come and say that we are dropping 100% of all the mandates, and then that way we can hold them accountable. You said you were going to drop them all, now you have to. And hopefully, if they do go back on their word, the Canadian people could then stand up in force and say, no, that's not happening again.
Yeah, that's right. And we have seen over the past 2 years that we can't really trust them.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
We cannot trust anything they say on the TV.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
This unity that we see here, the truckers coming together, it has been very moving.
Yes.
For the people all around the world.
Absolutely. Which goes to show you that the people themselves aren't for this. They don't support it. They don't want it. There is very few percent, that are actually for this. The average person out there wants no part of this. Absolutely not. We can see that.
Yeah. I think, this is already a victory.
I would agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Having that many people, we had to come here on the side.
Yes.
So we can have a little quieter time.
Yes.
But there's a lot of people out there.
There's a lot of people
Yeah,
here
yeah.
at this very moment. You
And
bet.
people keep coming and going. And I hear that yesterday was even more.
There was
Yeah.
about, I don't know the count of the horses, but there was many horses here with riders, and there was all sorts going on. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I want you to know that we are standing with you
Thank you.
and doing our parts from Truth Freedom Health movement
Yes.
that is supporting working people
Yes.
unity. Yeah.
Absolutely. Unity.
Yeah, unity.
100%.
That's something, we are connected more than we know.
Yes.
And you especially depend on each other.
Yep.
When you're driving at night, when you make aware your colleague,
Yes.
right? And
Yep.
you don't even know him, right?
Exactly.
But, that's what it's all about.
Yep. Exactly. 100%.
Okay, well, we will be in touch, and
Thank
I
you.
hope you check what the Truth Freedom Health movement is offering and how we can all support you further.
You
Thank
betcha. Thank you
so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
What's going on here?
Oh, just another day in paradise. Putting up some Truth, Freedom, and Health banners so we can get thousands and thousands of views. The ground game is where we win the war. And it's really simple. We've got together with some other warriors here today. Got the flags. We just put these up. We have some Truth, Freedom, and Health American flags. We're getting lots of people honking. And it's really important to let people know that there is a movement out there. And we're coming.
Kia ora everyone, and I just wanted to touch base with you and just summarise the last 4 days and 3 nights down at Wellington at the Freedom Village outside Parliament. Thousands of people who have lost their jobs, their source of income, their freedom of choice to say what can be put into their body, their means of providing for their families due to the no jab, no job mandate. Everyday people, working people, peacefully protesting. We've had nurses, doctors, teachers, police officers, security personnel, truck drivers, personal trainers, plumbers, frontline personnel, drain layers, builders, childcare workers, mums, dads, children, grandparents have all gathered to express their concerns in how government's legislation has divided our nation. Kia ora everyone, I'm here with Jay this evening and I'm just going to ask her a few questions to share her story and what made her come here, which is really important for all our people here in New Zealand, that we're standing outside here, outside the Beehive, that's the Parliament building in Wellington. So first of all I'm going to just ask Jay to share her journey down here and what made her come down to Wellington.
Kia ora everybody. I think our reason was we wanted to come down here to support the Convoy 2022 for our children back home who we've left at home, and for my mokopuna, and also for Aotearoa the journey down was truly amazing. We travelled from Whangarei, and then we stayed at Hamilton, and so in between Hamilton and Whangarei, the support was truly amazing. Aucklanders were out on their bridges late at night in the rain, as you know, on our way down it was pouring down with rain. On the way down there was so much support. We stayed in Hamilton, we woke up early, and then we made our way down to Palmerston North, stayed there overnight. The support right down to Palmerston North was truly, it was really beautiful. And then we woke up early to come down to Wellington. And coming into Wellington was really amazing. We had the bridges were full of people with all their signs, very emotional. And then coming in and just taking over, blocking off the streets because, you know, there's too much of us. And, you know, and it was really cool because we had all the Wellingtonians out on the side of the road supporting us and welcoming us on, and it was really beautiful.
And I had heard too, Jay, that on your way and your journey through to Wellington, that there was even portaloos on the side of the roads, people out there with bakey and a hot drink for everyone who wanted to stop and, you know, just take that break and then come on down to Wellington. So would you like to acknowledge any particular people?
Definitely. So I know that Voices for Freedom had a lot to do with the Kai side of things, and also Canada, who gave a huge koha to go towards the stand, and also to our truckies who also supported the cause hugely. I really truly want to thank them.
And Jay's actually come along here with her husband and family members, right to our little babies as well, and they're here, and what a historical event that they're going to be able to talk about in many years to come. And so what is this all about? Is it about just the mandates, or do you think it's evolved into something more that we need to really address here at Parliament?
I think, everyone's talking about, get rid of the mandates, but it goes deeper than that, I feel. I think the whole government is corrupt, and so the government needs to go, period. So, as you know, this is a tapu ground, this is a tā that Parliament is sitting on, and I do know that Ngāti Tama have come and they have served the government, and so we have until the 1st of March for them to give us a reply back. So fingers crossed, we're really hoping that there's some kind of movement, but it goes deeper than just the mandate. If they get rid of the mandate, they can bring it back up again.
Yes, so that's not going to solve things by just getting rid of the mandates. We need to go actually deeper into it, and if our government is not even prepared to come out off their seats and even just talk to and acknowledge the people that are here that have some really serious concerns, I think that should they even be in governance. So that's another thing that we need to really establish and make sure that, all of us here, there's an interconnection with truth, which must be told, and we have to have our freedoms to congregate together, have open discourse, have transparency, so that everyone's voices can be heard and that we can have good knowledge too for health. So it's really important. It's not just about the words, but it's the interconnections that we make. And this is about humanity and being human and respecting each other. So I really feel that there should be something just more than just the mandates. And I did hear their brother came in earlier today, and Cam had mentioned they had a group of the whānau come up from Taranaki who came to bless the land, and this was about 5 weeks prior to what eventuated. So they had lifted what Jay was saying about the tapu on the land there, and it was good to hear that. And those things are real spiritual, and it's really meaningful to all of us here, and we're thankful for, you know, those things that have been done in preparation for us to be here. So what would you say a victory would look like, in your own words? What would you think a victory would be after all this?
A victory after all this? Well, I really can't put a word on that for now until it actually happens. Because we know how corrupt the government is, and we know how sneaky they are, like snakes. So I can't put a word on it. I just pray and hope that we can celebrate, that we can get back to normality, that we can go back to work and provide for our families and never come back here again.
So it is about getting back to some kind of normality where families can enjoy their company and not be divided, because I know there's lots of families that have been divided by this, and we don't want that division. We want togetherness, unity and solidarity. So Jay, I'm also hoping for that. There's going to be a bit of a corridor at 6 o'clock in the morning, so if you can help in any way, what would you suggest that there's something that people could do, whether it be to donate stuff or to actually just come down?
Yeah, I feel that, you know, the more, I mean, every day, being here 11 days, every day more and more people are coming, and I think from what I'm seeing now, I think that people need to reconnect for the purpose, for the kaupapa, and why we are here today. And so I believe that, you know, there are a lot of people who have come for this, and there are people that don't truly know and haven't awoken yet. And so there needs to be some way where we can wake the people up, and that it's not about coming down here for a party, you know, to get on the booze. It's more than that. We all know that.
Yeah, because Jay's been here since day one, so, you know, we really want some movement to have a conclusion, so that they can also get back to family back home, and then we start back getting our jobs back and being unified in our own communities. So thanks, Jay, for giving your views. I appreciate that, and thanks to all you viewing. Thanks, Jay. Kia ora koutou katoa. I've got Janaya here with me today, and we're going to just go through a couple of questions that a lot of us out there that may not be aware of. So our first question up is, Janaya, how did you get involved?
I got involved because I have an uncle who was vaccine injured, and just coming into all these silly mandates here in New Zealand, you know, the vaccine passports, wearing masks, not being able to be with family members who have passed away, or, you know, just things like that. When my baby cousin passed away, our family from Auckland couldn't come down, but yet our sports teams were travelling to London, to, you know, to France, but our family members were double vaxxed, so why weren't they allowed to come, you know, outside of the Auckland borders when our own sports teams were travelling outside of the Auckland borders to overseas? So that was how I first got involved.
And could you explain today what is happening right now?
So right now we're all here. Was this a question about? Sorry.
No,
you're allowed to edit it,
Yeah.
What was this question about?
So it's all about what's people gathering and the amount of people that are just pouring in and expressing their concerns with our government.
So right now we have all different groups. It's so diverse here, you know. We wouldn't be standing for the same thing if it was anything else, but the fact that we're all brought together, we have one thing that we all have in common, and that's that we want to get rid of these mandates. And so we're all here to fight together, we're all here in unity. And so I'm just pumped. When I look out, I just see like, honestly, hope. I just feel so relieved, and I feel like I don't have to put a guard up, and because it gets depressing when you're fighting it alone, but when you have people, when you can see the power, when you can be the power, it's amazing.
Absolutely, and I agree with Janaea that the power of the people, they are uniting here in Wellington before the beehive, and so if you can come on down, the more boots on the ground, the better it is, and there is hope growing. And so whoever does go home, take that hope with you and share it within your communities, because that's where we're going to start. Local, go local, go local. Just a few more questions. How could others support the cause?
How can others support the cause? I reckon just sharing all of our posts that get out from here, our lives that we do down here. Even those, I've had some friends who are actually not allowed to be on here because they work for government agencies, and so they still come, but they hide, which is hard for them because they still have to provide for their families. But even just coming down here is makes a big impact. We have all sorts of people down here, so yeah, just the support, just liking, sharing, anything that gets out to do with us is
And is there stuff that you know of that we need to donate or bring down with you, or just come and be yourself and be with like-minded people? Is there like food that people can contribute and just come along?
We have our food tent down there, so if you want to bring some food down, we have, I know that our people in our coffee cart are a bit exhausted, so even if you wanted to come down and volunteer, we have people at our admin desk, so anything you need to bring down, bring to our admin desk, and it just comes to everyone.
Fantastic, Janaea. Is the stand just about the mandates, or has it evolved into something more?
For now, it is about the mandates. That's our sole focus right now. We're keeping the main thing for now. And you know what? If something evolves into something bigger, then it does. And but for now, it is keeping the main thing. We want these mandates over with, and whoever wants to fight for more, they can fight for more. They're free to.
And just the last question now: what do you consider as a victory?
What do I consider as a victory? I consider that everybody's here together. The fact that we're all different, the fact that we're all diverse, different religions, different races, different beliefs, and we're all here together standing for the same thing. I can stand here and proudly call strangers my family because we believe the same thing, and they have my back more than some people who are close to me have my back. And so it's amazing to see different people here, and that is a victory because man, how do you have two different races come together who have nothing in common, except we do have one thing in common, and that's that we want these mandates over. So
and all the best, Janaea, for the rest of the day. So Janaea's going to be here working security for us and making sure that we're keeping safe.
I'm just a runner.
And we're looking after everybody, and that's what it's all about. It's a fight for human rights and humanity. So if you get a chance, please come on down to Wellington. That's where it's happening, and we've got a terrific load of people here. And like Janaea said, there's all ethnicities, so all races come along. Okay, so truth, freedom, health, that's what we want to move, and that's what this is all about too, that interconnection. So you can join on VA-SHIVA, join, on VA-SHIVA.com, join. Ka kite. Thanks, Janaea. Awesome, babe. The atmosphere here in Whangarei is uplifting. We have a few people here today expressing their concerns and standing in solidarity to support our whānau down in Wellington as well. There is a science to building anything. Newton's equations allow us to build bridges and skyscrapers. Bernoulli's principles define the engineering of planes and rockets. And Maxwell's educations are what give us motors, electricity, and power plants. Now, if we seek to truly build a revolutionary movement to win truth, freedom, and health,
We must uncover, learn and educate others in the science and the scientific principles to build such a movement. Dr. Shiva has uncovered that science, the foundations of systems. And it's in a 3 key principle. The first one is the interconnection between truth, freedom and health. 2, why we must build a bottoms-up, decentralised movement. 3, the reality of the not-so-obvious establishment, a force sometimes known as controlled opposition, created by the establishment to distract and derail any bottoms-up movement of working people. Workers must unite for truth, freedom and health.
Thanks for tuning in with us and being in on our lives and our video shoots and our interviews down in Wellington over the last few days, and back here in Whangarei at our local home, and we're yet to go up to Waitangi, but with their occupation. I'm really getting tongue-tied and feeling the tiredness of the travel down to Wellington. Be well and much love from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Ka kite anō.